What is up, degenerates? Happy Thursday. Is it happy? Probably not. Market tanked again today. Uh, we had, NVIDIA earnings were great. We saw a pump after hours and into the pre-market, into the early session, and then things tanked. This is the VIX. This is the fear index. It went down to the pivot point this morning, which was good. Didn't break through it. It went below it, but didn't. We want it to close below it. Then it shot up to the first resistance and closed above that resistance, barely. So we could see it settle down tomorrow. I don't think so because it still looks pretty brutal in the after hours. So we could see this sucker run up to 34. It's at 26.41. Now remember, in April was Liberation Day. We saw the market tank then. The VIX was up to 60, over 60. We're only at 26. So there could be more pain ahead. Very important to hedge. I drip all my funds, which I'll continue doing for now. But next week I might do some option trading. I'll talk about that this weekend sometime. Sunday or Monday. I'm not sure. What I'm looking at is going to be a good setup for maybe Tuesday. So if that's the case, I'll do it Monday. But I've got some good option strategies that'll work well in this type of market. We'll see what happens tomorrow. We still have a full trading day left. But I do expect some more pain. Hang in there. Be careful with your margin. A lot of the sell-off is margin calls. People are getting margin calls. They're too over-leveraged. And they're selling to fulfill the margin call. I'm not there yet. I'm still low risk. I don't use a lot of margin. I do use some. I'm still at low risk. But it's getting tighter. So that's all I have to say about that. Let's talk about what happened today with our funds. Rec shares, nothing. They all-tie declared yesterday. Let's just look at that. 27 cents. Second declaration, they were 35 cents, then 27 cents. It's a 93% yield because the fund has tanked. Was down another 4.6% today. It was down like 25% last Thursday. I like the strategy. They do iron butterflies, which we can talk about later. I do those as well, not on the funds they do it on. They do it on high IV stocks that are in a trading range. It's a neutral strategy. As long as those stocks stay in that trading range, it works well. Unfortunately, a lot of them have tanked through their puts. So they, I don't know if they're making money, losing money. They don't post their trades, but it's down again. That's all I have to say about that. Let's look at Yield Max. So Alt-I was down 4.3. Let's look at Alt-T. Alt-T's up here. Alt-T was down 3.11, so not as bad. Again, it says $4.02 at the close. It's below 4 after hours. It's reverse split is coming. I think it's a good thing, but we'll see. We don't know. This is uncharted territory. We know they did it with Tesla, and I think that worked out well. I got into Tesla after that first reverse split, and that is my best performer total return-wise. It's like 40% total return, and I didn't start buying this thing till March. So I'm happy with Tesla, but that is Ulti. Defiance was today. Not much. We'll skip Defiance. Yieldboost declarations, and I noticed every single one of their declarations was less than last week, except for one. I'll get to that one. But good news about Yieldboost, again, huge down day. They did better. Most of them still lost, but did better. COYY, these all trade double leverage funds. Their underlying is CONL, which is a double leverage Coinbase. Coinbase was down like 7%. So CONL was down 14.9%, as expected. COYY only down 2%. They've got the protective puts. They're kicking in, seems like every day. So they are losing much less than their underlyings. Even less than the single underlying, if there was one. Like I said, Coinbase was down 7 something. COYY only down 2.15. HOYY underlying Robin was down 20. HOYY down 4.8. TSYY only down 1.14. My biggest holding, I'm very happy with that because TSLL was down 4.4. So they only captured 25% of the loss. And you'll see that trend throughout the Yieldboost funds. I'm not going to go through them all, but every single one of them, except AZYY, was actually up 1.6. The underlying for double leverage Amazon was down 5. They were up 1.6. So solid. IOYY underlying was down 28%. They were up 5%. So again, they're structuring their put credit spreads, I think, perfectly. They're going to go down when the market's down. In most cases, IOYY did not. They went up. So again, I love Yieldboost for this reason. And they're paying massive yield. MAGY, brand new fund, declared today. It's traded, I think this was their third trading day. The double leverage gold miners was down 8.9%. MAGY was up 1.05%. Soxel, that's the 3X semiconductor bull from Direxion, was down 14%. Semi was up 1.79%. New fund, so, might be attracting a little bit of money there, but that's great. So as a whole, the underlyings were down 10.87% average. Yieldboost funds were down 1%. They captured 10% of the loss on average. Love it. So again, these are great funds. Let's talk about what they're paying. COYY, and all their declarations went down except one. I'll talk about that. And then the two new ones, if only had one, declared today. X date is tomorrow. Pay date is Tuesday. Declarations next week will be messed up with Thanksgiving, but we'll get to that. It didn't affect these for this week. It'll affect them for next week. So COYY went from 34 cents to 29 cents. That's 170% yield still. Still the winner of Yieldboost. HOYY went from 54 cents to 47 cents, 154% yield. TSYY, my biggest one, I've told you, 18 cents to 15 cents, 154% yield. SMYY went from 52 cents to 46 cents, 152% yield. Again, a lot of 100%ers here. AMYY, 48 cents to 44 cents, 105% yield. XBTY, 27 cents to 24 cents. And there is a siren going by my house. XBTY, XBITY, 27 cents to 24 cents declared today, 110% yield based on average of the last three. I look at the last three and the current price, but I just kind of call out the last two. NVYY, probably the most consistent Yieldboost fund. Last three, 43 cents, 42 cents, and now down to 40 cents, which is 105% yield. But they've been pretty steady. PLYY, the Palantir double leverage is the underlying, 43 cents to 39 cents, 105% yield. BBYY, that's the Alibaba double leverage fund. And we've seen a trend here. They've gone up kind of in this market. Correction, crash, whatever you want to call it, downturn. Excuse me. They went up barely from 40.05 cents to 40.9 cents. So, little raise, 100% yield. MAGY, 25 cents to 22 cents, 115% yield. TQQY went from 16.9 to 16 cents, a little bit down, 61% yield, but that's an index. So the indexes, you'll do better for the most part. Not financial advice, you guys know that. Let's see. YSPY, which is on the SPY, 18 cents to 17 cents, 50% yield. That's the worst performer of Yieldboost, 50%. Come on. AZYY went from 23 cents to 19 cents, 53% yield. FBYY went from 20 cents to 19 cents, 52% yield. May, as in Mays, for you grown-ups fans, went from 58 cents to 53 cents, 160% yield. IOYY, like I said, was up today. Underlying was way down. 68 cents to 64 cents, 151% yield. Nuggy, which is on 2X Gold Miners, trading for, I think this was their third day of trading. They already declared 47 cents, 96% yield. If you want some gold exposure, that's solid. And then Semi, which is a semiconductor, it's the only one that's not a single stock. These two. Well, Gold Miners is, and the Semi is, but it's broader. And they declared their first one today, 64 cents, 133% yield. So, average yield of all of Yieldboost, 112%. The winner by far. So let's talk about Income Blast from Tuttle Capital. They declared today, they pay Monday. X dates tomorrow, they pay Monday. That's my only Monday payer. I own both of them. New one's supposed to come out in December. Can't wait. I love the strategy. It's 0 DTE. So less upside, capped less on the upside, because you're not, if the thing runs up for a week, it doesn't matter with these because they're 0 DTE, if that makes sense. So BITK on IBIT. IBIT was down 3.49. BITK was down 3.63. MSTR continues to be a train wreck, down 5%. Strategy has more Bitcoin than the company is worth. So you got to think it's going to bottom. But they are diluting shares and doing all these other preferred stuff. And I mean, I still am bullish on this. It's got to turn around. But anyway, down 5%. MSTK only down 4.84, so pretty close, but better. And as a whole, the underlyings were down 4.26 average. Income Blast down 4.23, so that's almost a full capture. Let's get the percentage. Well, let's do that and that. No, it's not going to work. I'll figure that out later. But they captured almost 100% of the loss, but not completely. But anyway, they declared BITK. They had massive yields to begin with. It was like $1.50, then it went to $1.50, 50 cents. Now it's 18 cents. Oh, there it goes. They captured 100%. All right. BITK, 18 cents, 18 cents, 13 cents are the last three. Today's was 13, 49% yield. MSTK, 50 cents. They paid 50 cents since inception. It's only been a few weeks, but 50 cents, 50 cents. But today, 35 cents. So it's still a 152% yield. I love this strategy. I own both of these. Can't wait for the new one to come out. Or new ones. We don't know. Roundhill. MAGY declared today. That's their only declaration for Thursday. And they declared they've done 37 cents, 38 cents, now 36 cents, almost 37 cents. 36% yield. That's MAG 7, so, a little safer. As far, let's see, how'd they do? Yeah, MAGs is their underlying from Roundhill, 1.7% down. MAGY only down 1.17. So they captured 68% of the loss, and their yield is now 36% based on the last three distributions. Weekly. We'll do some guesses, and I didn't cover these up because, do you guys really care that that's suspenseful? But they're single stocks, declared tomorrow. Apple, AAPW. I'm predicting, let's see, what they paid. They averaged 25 cents. I'm giving them 24 cents. 29% yield. AMDW averages 89 cents, 80% yield. I'm giving them 80 cents, 72% yield, because they're overpaying the IV. The IV is like the mean for me. If they're over the IV, I bring them down. If they're under the IV, I bring them up. It's pretty simple. AMZW averages 40 cents. I'm giving them 36, 43% yield. ARMW averages 75 cents. I'm giving them 61 cents, 82% yield. AVGW on Avgo averages 62 cents. I'm giving them 64 cents because they're underpaying the IV, but it's pretty consistent. They're paying 62%. The IV is 64% on Avgo. So I put it right in the middle. 64 cents, 63%. BABW on Alibaba averages 63 cents. I give them 54, 61% yield. BRKW on Berkshire, again, safer fund. How they do today? Down 0.02%. Of course, Berkshire was up 0.5%, but still, that's pretty flat. So they average 15 cents. I'm giving them 16 cents. That's an 18% yield. It's pretty much the same. COIW on Coinbase averages 48 cents over the last three. I'm giving them 42 cents. 86% yield. The IVs have all gone up on these. I updated them all today after the close. And IV, especially strategy, their IV's like 20 points from yesterday. It's insane. So COIW, I'd go over that one. 48 cent average, 42 cents, 86% yield. COSW on Costco, safer fund, and they're averaging 25 cents, 29% yield. I'm giving them 26 cents, 29% yield. Goo on Google averages 58 cents. I'm giving them 55, 41% yield. Who on Robinhood averages $1.11, but it's a $55 fund. Now remember, this one launched at 40 back in, I think, June. It went up to like 84 and was paying 100% yield. It's come back to earth because the whole market has, but they're still $15 above their launch price from June. So they're 55.61. How'd they do today? Robinhood was down 10%. WhoW down 12%. Again, Roundhill uses some leverage. They don't do covered calls on all their synthetics to get a little bit more upside, but they get a little bit more downside. So again, they're all different. I love the strategy on all of them. It's just it depends on the market, which we can't predict. It's why it's good to diversify, own a bunch of these from a bunch of different fund managers, and just let it ride. That's what I'm doing. So anyway, average is $1.11. I'm giving them 96 cents, 90% yield. I'm bringing them back down. METW on Meta averages 27 cents. I'm giving them 25 cents, 40% yield. MSFW on Microsoft averages 23 cents. I'm giving them 23 cents, 28% yield. I like Microsoft. I don't own anything that has Microsoft unless it's in, like Alti or something. But they're doing proactive things for this whole data center thing. They're focusing on power. You need power for all these AI data centers. I think a lot of these companies are putting in too much money, taking on too much debt for AI, and they're not reaping the benefits yet. So in 5 to 10 years, they will. But right now, their balance sheets don't look good because they're, pissing money into this. Microsoft is kind of one of the only ones that are saying you got to power this stuff. So they're working on that. Read the Tuttle newsletter. Go to Tuttle Capital and sign up for that newsletter because he sends it every morning, and it's kind of out of the box stuff, but it's good stuff. Anyway, that was Microsoft. MSTW on Strategy. How'd they do? Like I said, Strategy was down another 5%. MSTW down 5.8 as expected. But they're paying the most as far as yield based on the last three, 109%. That's the winner of Roundhill currently, averaging 29 cents. I'm giving them 27 cents, 101% yield. NFLW Netflix averages 22 cents. I'm giving them 24 cents because they're a little under the IV. The IV's low, 36%. They're paying 33. So I brought them up to 24 cents, 35% yield. NVDW on NVIDIA, again, killer earnings, but they're the biggest company in the world as far as market cap. They, I think it ran up aftermarket and pre-market and a little bit this morning, and then just, the non-farm payrolls came out, which was good. So who knows what's going on with the market? It's neurotic. PLTW on Palantir averages 60 cents. That's an 84% yield. I'm giving them 54 cents, 74% yield, dropping them 10%. TSLW on Tesla. Tesla did only down 2% today. TSLW down 2.67. So they captured a little more. They use 1.2% leverage. They were down 1.2 times Tesla. So these funds are working as designed. Averages 45 cents. That is a 74% yield. And I give them 41 cents, 66% yield. And my dog has come in. Ubu, sit. And they're averaging 54 cents, newer fund. I'm giving them 46 cents, 50% yield. GDXW, gold, averages 45 cents. I'm giving them 46 cents, 44% yield. GLDW, that's also gold. GDXW, again, these are new funds, is on gold miners. GLDW is on Spider Gold. So just different exposures to gold. GLDW, they paid twice, 16 cents, 21 cents. They got a raise today. I hadn't realized that. Did the other one? Yeah, both the gold funds. GXDW, 42 cents to 47 cents. Oh, this was last week. Never mind. Let's go to the gas. So they're averaging 45 on GDXW. I'm giving them 46, 44% yield. GLDW, averages 19 cents. Again, only paid twice. They'll declare again tomorrow. I'm giving them 20 cents, 20% yield. That is Roundhill. They average 56% yield. I'm giving them 52% because they all, they've all gone down. The market's tanked. So I'm giving them a little less. But Roundhill's a good company. Saw a great interview with the Roundhill CEO. If Return on Cash, check him out. Dan Cash, great guy. He's killing interviews right now. I had not seen any Roundhill interviews in my 8 to 10 months of this journey, and he was talking to the CEO of Roundhill, and so check that out. Return on Cash is his channel. Good stuff. Okay, so let's go quick look at. They declare monthly, so we got to wait on them. But next week is their week, and their yields are insane, averaging 196%. You guys know I love iCoy, 245% yield based on the current price because it has dropped. How they do today? Yeah, they're down 5.22 as a whole, and the underlyings are down 5.3. So they lost less than the underlyings. Again, these funds will follow the underlying in most cases. So that's Bitwise, and we'll do predictions and declarations on them next week. So that's it. We talked about the VIX. Again, this thing could run up to 34, this is the fear index. If it goes up, the market's going to go down in most cases. If it goes down, the market's going to go up. And it crossed these points. Let me zoom that up a little. I mean, it went through both the pivot point and the R1, which is the first resistance. Pivot point is basically just, it takes a period. I think this period's 15 days. This is a daily chart. So 15 days, the high plus the low plus the close divided by 3. That's your pivot point. And then it's the resistance subtracts the low, and the support subtracts the high, something like that. Look, you can Google that. It's easy to see. It's got formulas and everything. This is an automatic indicator on TradingView. You can change the settings. Again, I love TradingView. Yeah, it's set for 15, number of pivots back, and you can use daily base values. You can play with that if you use TradingView, and you can get TradingView for free. That indicator is free. I have the paid version because I can do all these watch lists, which you can't if you don't pay. And I've got all these funds. I still have Yieldmax Group A, Group. I haven't altered that because I don't use it that much. But if you want to look at like MSTR, I've got MSTR watch list. It's got all the MSTR funds. So MSTR. Again, blew through support 2 today. So they could go down as far as 116. They're at 117. I'm sorry, 177. So they could go further. It's hard to believe that based on the amount of Bitcoin they own. But again, who knows? And then you can look at MSII from Rex down. I mean, they follow the underlying. MST from Defiance, same. MST from Roundhill, same. Misty from Yieldmax. You guys can hate on that all you want. It's doing the exact same thing the others are doing. IMST from Bitwise. Again, I own that. I love Bitwise, but it's the same thing. And then you look at Winter, the inverse. It's flying. So, and then MIDI is the double leverage from Yieldboost. It's doing the same thing. But again, the protective puts are keeping it kind of in line with Mister and not the double leverage, because those protective puts are really, really helping. But down. I mean, what do you do? So hang in there, guys. It's going to be choppy for a bit. Maybe through the end of the year. But certainly through the end of this week and probably through next week. So we're going to see some up, some down, some all around. Hang in there. Don't panic. Stay the course. Keep your hedges in place. Again, I can't say enough about the inverse funds from Yieldmax. They're killing it. Fiat, is on Coney. Winters on MST, Misty. Kind of a not one for one, but again, let's look at the only one I own is Fiat. That's the inverse on Coinbase. Look at that, up. So I'm loving that. It's keeping me. I don't own enough, obviously. Most of my funds are long. But you got dips, which is the Nvidia inverse. That's kind of all over the place. But look, huge day today. They're up 4%. Everything else was down. Crash, which is on Tesla. It's an inverse of Tesla. Up today. Barely. 1%. But Tesla was pretty good today. So I imagine those two stayed flat. But you're getting income from both sides. So big proponent of those. Is that all the inverse? I don't know. All right, don't want to keep you too long. I know degenerates have no attention span, so I'm going to close it here. Have a great Thursday. Sleep well. It's not the end of the world. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to do my top 10 tomorrow, Friday, because Saturday I've got a ton of company coming in, and I'm going to have a house full of people, so that's usually when I do it is Saturday. So I may not do a video Saturday. So I'll probably do the top 10 tomorrow, and we'll go from there. But anyway, have a great day, and I will see you soon.